Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chelsea Area Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight Series, Ep.2. Today we are here with Lynae McClellan from Devil's Haircut, and we're going to be talking about what business looks like beyond COVID-19. Lynae, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Just, rocking out in the virtual world here.
For sure.
So today, we're going to touch base on some of the things that's been going on with your business in the past and what you plan to do in the future. And so I'll turn it over to you to kind of start, like, how were things when this all started to happen for you at the salon?
Right. Basically in Chelsea, in Michigan, we got the notification that a lot of businesses had to close. Salons at that point weren't included. And that was due to the whole COVID-19 quarantine, the shelter in place. That was 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for that whole week, I gave my employees the option to work.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people have family members who have compromised immune systems, or they have babies, or they just have different situations, or maybe it didn't make financial sense for them to stay here and work for me when they have another job and they could collect unemployment.
Sure.
So that's kind of was an obstacle. So I had a couple of girls working with me, and it was like walking on eggshells for that first week that everyone was closed and we weren't.
Right.
And I just kept waiting for Gretchen Whitmer to tell us to close. It was that Saturday. We closed our doors at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and it was 5:01 that she made the announcement that salons had to close.
Hmm.
And I sat in the salon Saturday night until about 8:30 at night, just like crying, panicking, kind of trying to like figure out what the future looks like for me, for the salon, for my girls. I just, taking care of my girls is always been number one. And I felt in that moment I didn't have any control.
Mm-hmm.
So the first week that we were actually closed, I was scared for my own mental health because I'm a workaholic. Like, people ask me, what do you do for fun? And I tell them that I work for fun. If
Right.
I'm doing hair, then I'm building a brand, or I'm coming up with a new concept, or I'm helping another business owner do something, or I'm working with the chamber. Like, I just work, and that's my outlet.
Sure.
I freaked out the first week, and
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who's another business owner. He told me that I needed to pull myself together. It's funny because I had just given a speech at the Business Leadership Awards
Right.
where I said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. And that's basically just like a shift in perspective. And my friend gave me my own advice 3 weeks later when it mattered,
Mm-hmm.
So he was
A
right.
wake-up call.
It
Yeah.
was a wake-up call. He
Yeah.
said, there's so many opportunities. There's so much time here. Like, when was the last time that you or I ever had time to take care of ourselves and to take care of our businesses, reevaluate ourselves as leaders, sit within your business and look in all four walls in every single corner and make it exactly what you want it, because we're always just go, go, go.
Right.
So this is the opportunity for us to grow and to build our empire. And so I sat on that for a week. And then the second week, I was into it. And I was like, okay, it's time to build the empire. So I started putting makeup on, and I started blow drying my hair and
Putting
getting
on
dressed.
pants. Yeah.
Yep. I put pants on, and I put my Pumas on, and I'm rocking those every day. They're like my dress shoes.
Sure.
And I started to come up with a plan. And the first thing I needed to do was talk to my girls, talk to my employees, and see where they were at.
Right.
So um, now we do a Zoom meeting every Saturday at 4 o'clock. And we don't talk much about business. We talk about what's going on in each other's lives. It's really important for us to make sure that we're taking care of each other and we're seeing each other. And because we're tight,
Yeah.
and that's part of our culture. And I think then too, it occurred to me, like, your business is your business. Your business is it's monetary, right? Your business is in your bank account. Your
It is.
culture is in it's in your heart, it's in your head, it's in your friendships that you have with people, it's with your clients, it's your relationships. So I've been focusing more on that now, and I decided that my empire that I've been building needs to go more like this and less like this. So
Mm.
I'm simplifying my life right now, and I'm actually really grateful for the time that we have. I feel like I'm rambling, so cut me
You're
off.
not you're
Okay.
not rambling. No. I was gonna make a couple points. I mean, yeah, anybody that knows you well knows you stay busy constantly. And anybody that knows all you guys have a Devil's Haircut knows how close knit you are. I mean, the amount of functions, it's not like you show up for a function to help. Your whole staff shows up. And
Yeah.
there's not a frown in the group, I mean, everybody's just so ecstatic. You guys, I mean, I remember when you guys all altered your t-shirts for events and stuff, like it is clearly a family there. And that's, something very respectful and something you don't always see in local businesses. So, you're not rambling. You're all good. It's good to just hear your perspective on things.
Thanks. I think one thing that's helped me so much is deciding where I get my news sources from. I haven't turned on the news, like the TV, in over 4 years.
Same here.
And I'm not going to start either. But that doesn't mean that I'm not informed. I get all of my information from Bridge Magazine, which is a great Michigan news source that prides themselves on keeping only facts and no fear within their publication. And I've been reading Gretchen Whitmer's press releases, and those are nothing but facts. And then I'm lucky because my husband works at U of M hospital. He's
Right.
he's in a leadership role for the medical technology lab testing for all of the COVID patients. And
Yeah.
he comes home and he tells me, like, what's going on. So I don't need all the drama that comes with the media.
Sure. Well, especially when you've got such an inside track on what's truly happening there, it makes it a lot easier to know what to listen to. I mean, obviously, he's not, one, fibbing,
Right.
and two, he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I can completely understand that being useful. It is hard. The whole news thing is, I mean, let's be honest, for the last 5-6 years, news has become this big conversation long before this happened. And now all of a sudden we have to rely on the news more than we ever have before. We need to know this information. So I do completely agree. As much as, wherever everyone gets their news, that's great. You can watch whatever you want to watch and get whatever you want. But I do appreciate the fact that we do have things like the government websites where you truly can just go pull facts.
Right.
And that is useful. And that's great, But anyways, back to your timeline. So at this point, you're talking about putting everything more in a straight line up. I know we're getting tons of comments on the side. It's hard. It's hard not to read. Thank you, everybody, for all your words of admiration for Lynae, as we obviously agree. Todd asked, what was the Michigan news source? You said it was Bridge Magazine?
Yep, Bridge Magazine.
Yep, and I believe I've seen some stuff from them before, too. Yeah. So anyways, let's say you're 2-3 weeks into this now. So now we're at 4 weeks, like where were you at about 3 weeks in?
So I started talking to my favorite, my business owner friends, some are part of the chamber, some aren't, but week 3 into it, I started to feel empowered, and I started to look towards the future. Like, yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, it's extremely serious. And you know what? The only thing that we can control we can't control the media. We can't control what people say on Facebook.
Right.
We can't control the virus at all. We can't control our government, federal or state. We can't control any of it. But what can you control? As a business owner, especially in Chelsea, we are the leaders of our community. And it's extremely important that when the economy is able to open up, that we are able to be looked at as sources of strength for our community. So what that means is when we can open our doors, what can we do to make our clients, our customers, our community feel safe doing business with us?
Right.
So I started to brainstorm, and I sat in the salon and I looked all around the salon, and I was able to pinpoint everything that wouldn't fly with the current rules, such as social distancing, working 6 feet apart from each other,
Right.
wearing masks, wearing gloves, doing all those things. So I started to come up with a list. And one thing that we're going to be doing when we do open, let's say, pretend we can open up on May 1st. I doubt the shelter in place will be lifted by then, but let's say it is.
Right.
Are we going to be ready to open? Yes. So we're going to be operating at 25% of our max capacity, so what that means is you take the maximum capacity of your square footage and what like the fire marshal would allow and divide it by 4. That's how many people you should have in your building. You can have in your building up to one time. So
Right.
I've got 2 stylists, 1 manager, 2 people in the chair, and 2 people waiting. If I wanted to, I could have 2 people who are waiting out in the parking lot. Our parking lot, I'm grateful for our parking, but it's not pretty out there. But so one thing that we're going to do, we just hung up this TV back here. We're going to roll some comedies, put on some closed captioning, get rid of our magazines. We're going to make our music a little bit more uplifting. Usually we're kind of like grungy, a little alternative.
Which I personally love, but I can appreciate your sentiment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love it too, but I think we need a little bit more, less crunchy now.
No, I completely
had enough
agree.
of that for a while.
Yeah.
So Grateful Dead 24/7.
No. That's fine.
So we're going to start out with, I have 2 stylists who are going to be working with me and 2 other ones who are going to continue to be laid off. I know that one of the issues that employers are coming face to face with is, well, are my employees going to make more on unemployment than they will working for me? And that could prevent them from coming back.
Yeah.
What I say to that is that's okay, because this is your time to reevaluate yourself as an employer and as a leader. And if your employees are committed to you and this isn't just a job for them, then they will come back and they will work for you again.
Right.
And they'll want to be a part of your culture and your game. Because at the same time, in these weeks that everyone has off, your employees are evaluating their relationship with you too.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we had just built this new room for like eyelash extensions and facials and stuff like that, where you're like right up in everyone's face.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably not going to fly right away.
Not anytime soon, no.
Yeah.
No.
So we're going to keep that totally converted into a private station. So if we have somebody who is elderly, pregnant, has a compromised immune system, or just prefers to be a little bit more secluded during their hair service, we have that option for them. And I'm so grateful for that. That's just something that the universe timed out so well for us. I thought it was a curse, and now it's an opportunity.
And I want to stop you right there. Like, that is a great point. Right away, everybody can tell, obviously, you've put in a lot of thought of taking a look at your business, your 4 walls, and adapting to this modern thing. And that's exactly the point right there. You did something was set up with a completely different concept in mind. And you're like, well, this is just, what a waste of time. That's not going to work at all anymore. But when you really dig in as a successful business owner, as someone who wants to survive this, you take a look at that and you actually find that, holy cow, this is extremely useful in this current time, and you're adapting and you're changing your business around to fit to this. I do think it's important. We talked about this a little bit before in private, just the concept that no matter when things get lifted, no matter when you're able to open your doors again, it's not going to be anytime soon that you're able to operate your business the way you were before this. So, it's important that at the time you're sitting here, whether your doors are closed right now, whether they're open, whatever your business is, whether you're doing stuff online, this or that, you need to continue that concept of trying to adapt to what the new normal will be for quite some time. And it's very refreshing. And I really appreciate you sharing this all with us, because that's clearly what everyone needs to be doing to whatever extent that they can. And I understand some people don't have the availability or the type of business to change everything that they're doing. But, it is important to look at what you have, look at what you can do, and do everything you can. I mean, you guys already practiced a lot of you always said you guys never double book and stuff like that. And it's like, so if somebody is doing that kind of thing, they're going to have to adapt that. You guys were lucky enough you weren't doing it already, and that's excellent. But just the cleanliness, the processes, and how you can thrive. I mean, it sounds really cheesy to say this. It's America, though, right? Like, it's capitalism. Like, you have to figure out how you fit into the current scheme of things and how you advance. I mean, there's no way that everything around us and every business around us is just going to crumble away and everything's going to be gone and done. That's not going to happen. At least I hope. I mean, we have to believe it's not going to happen, obviously. And to do that, that means that businesses are going to grow and change, and new businesses are going to arise, and that's all going to happen. So as a business owner, I just think you're doing such a great job of really trying to lock into what you can do. I know when we talked to Shasta last week on this series, she was talking about the same kind of thing and how people are adapting what they're doing. You can look at businesses like Ugly Dog in town that are, this all started to kick up, and within a week or two, they're like, all right, well, we have the tools to adapt and start making hand sanitizer. Right. And they're now this special gem in our community. I mean, not every community has a business in town that's just sitting there giving away free hand sanitizer. That's phenomenal, but that's forward thinking, and they're going to have to keep doing that, just like everybody. As time moves forward, everything's got to be a little bit different. Everything has to be adapted. But speaking of rambling, I will cease and desist there for a second. So,
well, and you're right. Like, and this is our plan for today. This is our plan for if we open up on May 1st, right? Right. Given the facts that we have, and as more facts are released or as time goes on, we're going to have to continue to reevaluate where we are. Yeah. So we're going to open our doors one week, and the following week we need to reassess and reevaluate. Right. Again. And then we're going to do it again and again. And that's why having a strong leader, and why being a leader who has other leaders around them, I have my mentors. It's so important to really just like come together, share ideas, be in each other's circle, help each other out. Like, and I'll tell you what, because we do have some changes that need to be made before we open, like not structural, but operational, I guess. Really? So we have to, right now we have like cute little hand towels that we roll up, and everyone can use them in the bathroom and put them in the hamper, and we wash them. That's not going to happen anymore. No. I got to go and find a commercial, paper towel, hands-free dispenser and hands-free soap. And, I can't have a little pump lotion of, whatever fancy lotion there is for the day.
But it's systemic, right? Because now we need more companies to create those type of things. The companies that were doing the pump lotions need to now, okay, well, how can I get people what they've always wanted, what they still want, but in a new fashion, so it's literally across the board. Everybody has to adapt. So, hopefully people listening and thinking about their own stuff. And like you said, that concept of being a leader, and truly sometimes that can be one of the most important aspects of that, can be just listening to your employees, like you said earlier, listening to your customers, listening to the other business owners. I do want to thank you again for being one of the first people to kick off the email group that we are doing here in town, with a bunch of the local business owners being able to communicate with each other. You were one of the first people to reach out to me with a desire to be able to talk to the other business owners, the people that are all in the same boat as you, and really be able to tell stories of success and share concerns and everything of that nature. I know that list grew to 100 within a couple days, and I know a lot of people gave me a lot of positive feedback on being able to hear from you guys and hearing these success stories or hearing these not success stories. It's important to know that everybody's out there fighting and trying to make it work. So I do appreciate that.
Thanks.
But, yeah. So, hey, on a personal level, what show you been watching? Since you can't work nonstop now.
Well, the only show that I watch is Schitt's Creek.
That is pretty good.
It is so good. It makes me laugh. Anything that makes me laugh, I'm into.
Yeah, no, that has definitely been more on the forefront. My girl and I have been watching Sopranos, and every single time we watch one episode, we're like, okay, now like an hour of Community or something. Like, got to pull a comedy in there. It's just too serious, too intense.
Yesterday, Scott and I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, it's so good, but intense.
I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Tarantino, he's a madman. Well, anyways, Lynae, thank you so much for joining me today for episode 2. I want to thank Shasta Grifka and Grifka Marketing for sponsoring these and facilitating these for us. Thank you, Shasta. And thanks everybody that tuned in and the comments on the side. And we'll see you guys next week. Wednesday at 3, we'll have Jennifer Fairfield from the Garden Mill talking about spring gardening. Thanks, Lynae. Talk to you soon.
Bye.